Rocket Lab fan club, Space fan club, the Hustle Brothers, just Rocket Lab community in general. Baby, we did it. The official opening of Neutron's launchpad has taken way. Now, guys, I'm pretty disappointed. They seem to have used all their water on wallops in the opening ceremony, so they probably won't have enough water for the actual Neutron launch this year. They'll have to start collecting bucket loads of water. But no, on a serious note, big shout out to Rocket Lab. They got that ribbon cut and done. I can't say I'm not. I'm jealous of a teammate, Francisco. He tried to pull the wool over our eyes. We did catch on to him yesterday. He was acting a little bit sus. Yeah, Francisco did make it. Now, we are having a few technical problems with Chris at the moment. We'll see if Chris does make it onto the stream. Guys, also, let me know, is my mic okay? I did mess with it a little bit after the VTOL stream, and I don't know, am I too loud, too quiet? Please do let me know. But yeah, big news today. The opening of LC3 Pad 0D has occurred. We also got a bit of news today that they're still targeting end of year 2025. So that official delay that everyone was kicking off about is not happening. It is happening at the end of this year, as far as we're all aware. Chris, can you hear me, my guy?
Yeah.
I think you're a little bit laggy. Guys, can you hear Chris? Do let me know. What I want to do, I want to bring up a nice picture I want to share with all of you guys. So, our good friend Francisco did pull the wool over our eyes, and he's probably the best looking man in this Rocket Lab community. Francisco did meet the man himself, Peter Beck. He said he had quite a nice conversation with him too, so I'm pretty interested to see. I know Francisco is very big into diving down rabbit holes. He's big into the defensive side of Rocket Lab, so I'm really interested to see, did he get any little snippets out of Peter? We will be ringing Francisco. He may even call in today, but say he's celebrating with the Rocket Lab boys. We will bring Francisco in tomorrow, do a bit of a deep dive with him around everything around that launch. We'll see, did he get any videos? Did he get any up-close pictures? He did share a few of them on X, but knowing Francisco, he has some top quality content for us. But jumping in today, Rocket Lab did sell off a little bit very early on. I think short sellers were hoping for a sell the news event. We did recover pretty nicely, and we did finish 3.59% up on the day. Sitting after hours, we are 0.23% down. I know Olga was very much pushing on if we hold 47.77, I believe it was. Over the week, we will push higher into the $50 range. Now, we do need to remember, we did touch that $50 range earlier this week. We never held it. I honestly believe we do hold around $48, $49. We will push into the $50 range next week. We need to think the Golden Dome project is due. So that is where the general needs to go to Trump and more or less tell him all the infrastructure will get contracts announced. So that'll be another big leg up for Rocket Lab. I'm also looking to get out of my trading position in Redwire. I do have a long-term position, but as you know, guys, I did get caught in my pants down. So I'm about, at this stage, I think it's 35% down on Redwire. I need to get some of that capital out of there. And look, that is jumping straight into Rocket Lab. I don't care if we're sitting at an all-time high at this stage. With a Neutron launch coming towards the end of the year, I honestly don't believe we'll see this $40 range. Once we start getting contracts firing out, once we start getting more confirmation that Neutron is definitely going off this year, I honestly can more than ever see that $80 to $100 range. But guys, do jump in, let me know. Do you believe that we're gonna hit $80 before a Neutron launch? Are you expecting it around the Neutron launch? Do you think I'm being a bit too bullish looking for $80? I honestly think we're gonna get a big move like we got 4 months ago at this stage. I think once we accelerate, we're gonna accelerate pretty quickly. I'm gonna try and bring Chris in again. I think we're having really big problems with Chris. Can you hear me? I think I can hear you there. No?
I'm not sure.
Oh no, I can hear you there.
No, maybe
That's
not.
good.
That's good. Okay. Can you?
Yeah.
It's choppy. It's a little choppy.
Do you know what we might do? I might turn your camera off. Nah, I don't think we're gonna get you there, Chris.
Verizon sucks, man. They do stuff all together. But yeah, sorry about the delays.
Nah, I think we're cutting out there,
sorry.
Chris. I'm gonna mute you for a second just so.
And it went out again. Stupid Verizon.
I'm only getting parts of what you're saying, my guy, but I can hear you on about Horizon. Then looking across, so over the 5 days, we are up 15%, guys. I said after hours is looking pretty flat. Over the last month, we are now climbing 6.21%, and then over the last 6 months, we're hitting that beautiful 133%. Year to date, Chris's favorite one to look at is 88.1%, and then over the last year, it's 686.70%. Then, guys, I want you to jump in. I have started rolling out a few mini deep dives, as we say. We've expanded into the Space Fan Club. So I've rolled out a mini deep dive in Rocket Lab, one in Redwire Space, another one in Planet Lab. I've done one for ASTS that I'm going to drop. Kratos, another one, because I know Kratos is a big one for you guys. Vast CNC has 4 he wants me to cover. I think they're drone stocks. I have Archer Joby. Horizon, they're all going to drop tonight. I've about 10 to 12 videos dropping tonight. Do let me know if you want any stock covered. I'm looking for ideas at the moment. So any stock you want covered, do jump in, let me know. What I also want to do, I believe I've accidentally put it into 2 seconds. Bear with me, guys. Chat's now open for everyone to speak. Then, jumping across, Chris did share some really nice news today. I want to share this on the screen. So jumping across some Rocket Lab news, GEOS is set to supply 2 optical payloads for the US Space Force geostationary missions. We know that GEOS acquisition went through, so this is a Rocket Lab commitment. So Rocket Lab's newly acquired subsidiary, GEOS, has secured an expansion of the US Space Force contract to produce 2 optical payloads for missions in geostationary orbit. Now, I'm going to have to get Chris to get access to that just because I ain't paying $5 a week for whatever that is. Do let me know what you think about that GEOS acquisition. We need to think with GEOS, it's improving the ability to go vertically integrate with your payloads. We need to think what they are. They're the eyes and ears of the satellite. So anything like your sensors, your lasers, GEOS is highly beneficial for. Now, another deep dive we really want to do is Mynaric. We've been speaking about Mynaric quite a bit and how it gives them an edge in not only building their own constellation, but building constellations for many providers. We believe that the reaction wheels now is Amazon. I know at the very start we were skeptical. Is it Amazon? Is it a military contract? We discussed why it could be a military contract, just because these reaction wheels use the activators to change the orientation of the satellite. Now, in a normal satellite, you'd have around 4 reaction wheels. In a military satellite, you'd have 6. So, and that is because of redundancy system. If one goes down, you don't want it to be detrimental to a military constellation. We worked out how it could have been a military one, but no, we have information now that it more or less 95% certain it's Amazon. Now, the thing is with the likes of Mynaric, these could benefit constellations like a Kuiper, Project Kuiper. If we have a good relationship with Amazon, what's saying they don't want to add the likes of these laser terminals to the Project Kuiper? Then we've sort of dived into the likes of space-based solar, the likes of beaming down electricity straight from the satellites in orbit. So really, if you think the satellites in orbit have 10 times the efficiencies, 10 times the production with them solar cells than down here on the ground, just due to the atmosphere dispersation of the solar array. So if we are able to beam this down and collect it straight away, you have a solar farm. Who's the prime candidate for doing something like that? We have Rocket Lab. Then we've spoken about the Mars telecommunication orbiter, and we spoke about relaying information back to Earth. And would it be better beaming it with radio waves, which we use at the moment, or is it better with a laser? Now, the problem with a laser is it spreads out over a long distance. I then looked at speeds inside a vacuum, and the likes of your radio waves travel at the same speed as light. So, look, guys, Mynaric's not something I'd be using over a complete long distance, but I'm still bullish on the whole acquisition. Now, this is where me and Francisco are kind of thinking which is the bigger acquisition. Is it Geos? Is it Mynaric? Geos gives you the ability to develop your own payloads, but at the same time, Mynaric gives not only the communication ability, but if you can adapt that, it gives you the ability to beam things back down to Earth. We know Mynaric doesn't only focus on space, it focuses on ground terminals as well, but also focuses on UAVs. And I think this is where Francisco is going with it, because he's a big investor in Kratos. If you can beam electricity back down to Earth, you can also beam electricity from Earth back to the UAVs. These UAVs, a lot of them are being converted into electric power. If you're able to beam electricity back up to the UAVs, you basically have a UAV that doesn't have to touch the ground. And that, when you pair it in with how big the world is going defensively, I think that is a massive, massive potential for Mynaric. Now, could we ever see a collaboration in defense-wise between Rocket Lab using the Mynaric and the likes of Redwire? Redwire acquired Edge Autonomy, one of the biggest drone players in the world. So there's a lot to chew on when it comes to that minority acquisition. There's a lot to chew on with Geost. Another one we want to get into is we want to break down, and I don't want to really steal Chris's thunder, but we want to get into the Photon satellite buses. So we have Photon, Lightning, Explorer. What's the other one, guys? Photon, Lightning, Explorer, and it'll come back to me. We really need to break down that. We need to see where they're going with having the 4 different types of satellite buses. We know the likes of the Explorer is for interplanetary missions. Lightning, I believe, is for communications. I'm trying to think of the other one. Photon, the actual Photon bus is more or less your generic satellite bus. Then, big shout out, Mike. Hi, Liam. Mike, haven't spoke to you in a while. Big shout out, Mike. Are you in Rocket Lab at the moment? I know you were in and out of Rocket Lab for a while. I believe this is the same Mike I'm speaking to. AJMJBC says energy utility constellation. And that's the thing. We heard Elon at the recent Starlink launch talk about refueling in space. And it was one thing myself and Chris both brought to a stream before about this gas station in space. Rocket Lab do have a contract for that, which I think people have forgotten about. I think it was back in 22, 23. They were signed a contract to prove the concept. If you can provide a gas station in space, well, more or less you're providing a service in space, and that is the whole Peter Beck philosophy. We then jumped into helium-3. Talking about helium-3 is a ultra rare compound. It's basically what the sun uses. No, I'll get this wrong. I think it's for fusion. I don't think it's fission. I think it's fusion. It's the helium the sun uses in its nuclear reaction. Now, it's a lot safer than what we use down here on Earth. Helium-3 by the ton is worth $10 to $20 billion. Now, that's where I've done a deep dive into, okay, so to produce a ton of this, how easy would it be? Now, it's not actually as simple as you think. So, number one, you have to not only go up to the moon, you have to have the infrastructure. So, you have to heat the lunar soil to 700 to 900 degrees Celsius. So, you can convert that to Fahrenheit. I speak in Celsius. Fast CNC says it's fusion. The sun generates it as a byproduct of fusion. There we go, my guy. So yeah, to produce a ton of this, you need to get a lot of the soil. You need to heat the soil up, and it lets it off as a gas. Now, even though we say the moon is full of helium-3, it's ultra dilute, so it's 20 parts per billion. So what is that? For every billion grams, you get a gram. It's going to take insane infrastructure to more or less mine the moon. It's going to be it's going to be like a quarry. This isn't going to be a project we believe Rocket Lab could undertake themselves. I think Chris may disagree with me on that. I don't believe it's a project that Rocket Lab could undertake themselves. I know some of you Rocket Lab bulls will think they can. I don't think SpaceX could undertake that on their own. They're going to need insane amounts of governmental funding, but they're also going to need some collaborations with different companies. And that's where I like to bring the likes of Redwire Space into it. I've done a deep dive into the likes of Black Sky, Planet Labs. This is where these companies can expand, because these are not only Earth observation optics, but if you can do Earth observation optics, what's stopping you from doing lunar observation? It sounds silly, but if we're going that way economically, I believe that's where you're going to see these companies expand. And that way it's going to pull the whole space industry up. Redwire would be a big one for me. They have a lot of contracts relating to the moon. You could even get the likes of Intuitive Machines putting in proposals for that, even though I think that'd be a project that'd be extremely hard for them to get. You could get Intuitive Machines. I don't think SpaceX would be too heavily involved at concentrating on Mars. But look, Mars is another place. Helium-3 is big because the atmosphere is not as dense. And then you really have it in high doses around the gas giants, so the likes of Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus. But these all have the moons. You have the likes of Europa, Clipper, where they're searching for life. You could potentially have nuclear power plants around the solar system. It sounds completely wild, but you could have nuclear power plants around the solar system. It'll be a lot more beneficial having nuclear power around the solar system than it is solar, because the further away from the sun you get, the harder it is to generate power. We all know the benefits of nuclear power. I don't need to get into that, but this is a lot less radioactive byproduct that comes from it. It's all to do with the neutrons it emits, I think, during the fusion process. It gives a lot less radioactive waste to it. You don't want to be bringing this stuff back to Earth, to be doing this in large quantities if it was highly reactive. So it is a safer thing. We've then spoke to Astroforge. I'm hoping to get Astroforge on a stream with us, either on a stream or a pre-recorded interview like we done with Horizon Aircraft CEO. Really, we've been thinking in two different ways. Could Rocket Lab go after something like space waste? Could they be like the bin men up in space, getting rid of all the space junk up there? Or could they go on another mission and go into space-based mining? So with space-based mining, that's what Astroforge going from. But they're not targeting the moon. They're targeting asteroids. Now, I believe I have Chris here. Can I hear you, my guy? Speak again. Yeah, I can hear you there. No, I think I'm losing you again, my guy. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to continue. Yeah, I can hear you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mute you for a second, my guy, yeah? So, I've lost my trail of thought, so I'm going to jump straight back into the comments. First of all, so Mike says, I sold mine, but going to look at buying back in. Mike, remember when I brought you Rocket Lab for $4? Isn't it such a run since then, my guy? How are you getting on? I know you have a tough time financially on occasions. Big shout out to you. I'm happy you're still in this investing journey. We must connect offline at some stage, my guy. I'd love to have a call with you. Nerds in the box says, anyone talking about heat from RF or lasers entering our atmosphere? How do we cancel out that additional heat in our closed system. Maybe magnetic cooling systems. It's one thing the guys have spoken about as well is space-based data centers, and this is where helium-3 will come into it too. But then with a space-based data center, sorry, my guys, Chris is here again. Hello, Chris.
Now?
Oh, that looks much better, my guy.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I suck. Or Verizon sucks, but still, I suck. I missed out on all the fun. I'm sure all the fun already has been had in the first 20 plus minutes, but yeah, I made it. Sorry about that.
Oh, don't be sorry at all. Do you know what? These things happen. There's just too much partying happening in Virginia at the moment. I think that's what is your internet problem. But yeah, Rocket Lab official. It's happened. And we got confirmation that Neutron going off in December. Well, not December, at the end of the year. So how are you feeling?
So I can't say where or how or why or who, but yeah, Neutron's gonna happen this year. I got confirmation today from someone that I do definitely trust, and I'm not gonna say any more about that, but it's gonna be impossible to plan the Neutron party around the launch.
Yep.
We're still planning on that, but yeah, we're gonna see Neutron launch this year. There's yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But and barring something crazy, really crazy happening, they're well on their way. And I'm not saying that just because of today and just because we saw this. We actually I was hoping for this a few months ago, but congrats. Big opening today at Wallops. Lots of fun for everybody. I wish I
Do you
was
feel
there.
that jealousy, my guy? I am so jealous. You see Francisco?
No. I mean, I don't see this jealousy. I mean, honestly, I feel like one of us. Like we're there in spirit with these guys. We know all these guys. We've had them on. We've been on their shows. Most of, not all of them, are going to come out to the Neutron party. As you know, I should be there. For dinner tonight, having fun with those guys. Celebrating. Could not make it, unfortunately. But no, it's not a. Yeah, I want to be there. Trust me. When I was going into work this morning, instead of driving out to Wallops, especially, we knew Francisco was going. We didn't know, but we knew.
Oh, we knew he was going. I told you. Remember, I roasted him in the chat. I was like, "There's no way you're
I
not
missed.
going.
I missed I missed a message at like 10:30 ish last night, and he just mentioned the bridge tunnel. And if you're not from Virginia, we have actual tunnels and bridges. Goes on the water. Two of them, pretty crazy. But I was already in bed, and if I would have seen that, I probably would have lost my job. I probably would have called in and started driving. So I'm glad I was in bed. But no, man, definitely happy for the guys. That'd be a great experience. Once again, I apologize. I cannot make it out to join you guys in all the festivities. Next time for sure. Next time for sure. I had some great news myself today. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but things are definitely looking up for old Chris here.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah, definitely looking for looking forward towards the Neutron party coming up. We should have those dates in a few days, guys. We brought some help in. It's been a little chaotic for me, but yeah, lots to be excited about. Lots and lots when it comes to Rocket Lab. Man, so much to be excited about.
June, big shout out. Hello, all. June, big supporter, big investor in Rocket Lab. Guys, show your support. Do jump in. Bang the subscribe on June.
I'm glad you jumped in, June. Just really quick. I don't think I follow you or you follow me on X. But if you are interested in the Neutron Party, you were definitely on that list of people that shortlist. So either hit up me or Liam, let us know. I'll make sure you get added to that. We are pretty much full, guys. No offense. It's one of those kind of first come first serve things. And there's a lot of people that's been very, not just supporters of just not just here on YouTube, but me personally and my journey as an investor. So yeah, if you want to go June, there's a slot open for you. Just let us know.
Then Benny says, "What's up, lads?" Benny, big shout out, my guy. Love to see you here. Benny, hello. Hey, June. Mike says, I live in Virginia, about 60 miles from their launch site. Mike, my guy, when I come across to Virginia, need to meet you in person. Been following you a while, my guy. No. Honestly, mate, you need to call in at some stage. Would love to see you in. June says, to the moon. We love it. I've been buying more lately on dips. Look, June, I'm going to be dead serious for you. Yeah, once I get out of Redwire, that's going straight into Rocket Lab. And I don't care what price I'm at. I don't care if we're at $80 then. It's going straight into Rocket Lab. And I said to Francisco, that's the last time we play around with capital. Let's just put it into Rocket Lab and leave it there. Liam, you going to head to the Neutron launch party if we launch this year? I'm going to head to the Neutron party whether we launch this year or not. I think we're running it no matter what, aren't we, Chris?
Amen. 100%. We made the decision to just plan the party and not try and plan around the launch itself. I mean, it's been very hard just to nail a date. Again, there's not a lot of infrastructure out there, and most things will be booked up before they even announce the date because they need people out there as well. So we're going to do one. It's not going to be focused on that. The guys actually had Beck and Spice on. Well, they've had them on several times, but one of the times they had them on, they talked about this, particularly this party, and it was kind of agreed on that it'd be better for for most investors, especially first time, to not be out there doing all the hoopla because they're not going to have a chance to interact. Not saying that they're coming, not saying that at all, but it was put out there by them. So yeah, give us the idea. Hey, you know what? It'd be a lot easier on everybody. Plan it ahead, not try and do it last minute, and get all the details really hashed out, and make sure it's fun event for everybody. But again, I do expect them to launch, but we're not going to focus on the launch for the party. If it happens, great, but no promises on that end.
Then Benny says, me too, June, but more today. Do you know what? I think you're getting it at a bargain at this stage. I think we're not holding this level for much longer. Vaccine C says, Virginia government, Young King said on stage it'll happen this year. That's what I've seen, but Chris has information that is even better than that it is happening this year. June says, we are all there in spirit, Rocket Lab family. I love the positivity, June. It honestly does feel like that because I think when you have a personal connection with these guys, it really hits home. And Francisco, my guy, tried to pull the wool over your mate's eyes. You couldn't do it. Try better next time, my guy. So happy for you. He really deserved it. The amount of work he puts in on X. And then the amount of help he's done to this whole journey we've had streaming Rocket Lab every day. No, he deserved it massively.
Not only that, Francisco's actually, he's not just thinking of himself, he's thinking of a lot of us. I'm not gonna say more than that, but yeah, very short turnaround, really quick trip for him. Poor guy has got no sleep, but while he was there, he was thinking of many of us. Just wanted to put out there, thank you, Francisco. You are my boy, man. Love you to death. Safe travels. Again, you're coming close. If you need something, try and do it before 10:30. But I'll stay awake a little late tonight just in case.
I just had this feeling with Francisco. He was messaging me too early. Guys, for any of you that don't know, I'm in a completely different time zone to you guys. So I get up to go down the farm about 7 in the morning my time. So it's about 2 a.m. your time. He was messaging me back and over, and I thought it just is strange, isn't it? And then when he put that picture in, I thought, yeah, nah, it was written on the cards. So happy for him. Benny says, I was calling it in chat. It was either him or Brett. Yeah. Do you know what? Brett was a good one. I thought Johnny was a good one as well. I actually thought Johnny would be there because Francisco said something about I seen him at the airport. And I thought, yeah, that's it. VACNC says you can think of helium-3 as the last step in the sun's fusion process. When two of them collide, it creates helium-4, releasing 2 protons and most of the sun's energy. That's why it's so valuable for fusion tech. And that's why we have you on the channel, my guy, because that is, look, I'm an animal scientist, so that is even out of my league. My guy. June says, I appreciate that. Chris.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you look back and you're like, why were we worried about the Archimedes engine? Why are we worried about concrete being poured at a certain date? Why are we worried about your stage 1 complete? Do you know what? It's all fallen into place. Do you believe we'll get it before December? Do you think it'll be December time? When do you think it'll be?
I'm not gonna say. Not gonna say. I'm just gonna say we're looking really, really positive, man. We're really look. It's not a financial advice. If I give a date, I'm gonna get nailed, no matter what I say. You know how it goes with Rocket Lab. You say anything, if you even give a time frame, you're gonna get nailed. So I'm not gonna do that, but I am very, very confident on a launch this year for sure. I had no reservations about concrete pouring. Everything that I was concerned about revolved around the engine. That was me from day one. Now we're looking at a lot of success from that engine. I can't wait to see this thing on the pad. I really can. I'm going out there, even if we don't plan the party and it's not doesn't coincide with the actual launch. I'm close enough. Believe me, I'm going to go out there. If I've got to take my kayak and paddleboard, or take my kayak and kayak for like 3 hours across the Chesapeake Bay, I'm going over there, bro. They're not stopping me.
My guy.
Yeah, one way or the other, I'm getting over there. But no,
my whole biggest concern really was, did you see that today when they let off the flame suppression system and they let all that water out, and now they've run out of water. They have no water to launch, my guy.
There's no water. There's no water at Wallops, guys. Big concern. There's no water. Man, that guy's an idiot. Oh my goodness. Wallops is they celebrated their 80th year this year for launches. I'm pretty sure by now they've figured out their water issue. Especially because they're surrounded by water. Yeah, that's a big concern, man. Water is a concern for sure.
And then speaking about Wallops, there was 3 sounding rockets launched last night. Wallops just seems to be the center for these hypersonics. Are you expecting?
I miss those. I should have stayed up. If I stayed up, I would have saw those, because it's also on this. Coincidentally, it was almost the exact same time the first one went up as when Francisco messaged me and told me he was going through the bridge tunnel. And
you thought it was an anti-air system for Francisco, did you?
It could have been, yeah. They were just lighting off the fireworks to announce his arrival in Virginia. Yeah, no. Normally, I do stay up and I do watch them because I can't see the actual rocket. I mean, I'm kind of far as far as that's concerned, especially when they're that small. But I can see the trails. And last night it was a bit different than normal as far as the. Very clear sky. I don't remember all the details of the launch. I should know better, but man, it's been a long week, man. I'm not gonna lie, but apparently last night I missed out on a lot. So I'm gonna try and do better in the future. We did promise we'd cover more of that kind of stuff, but it was late for me and definitely really late for Liam. For just they delayed it for 2 days, just like Starship. They were delayed, so we expect another delay as well. But yeah, Wallops is definitely ramping up. We're going to see a lot more launches out of there, and we're going to be doing more live streams from Wallops as they ramp up. I mean, why not? Close enough for that.
Well, I need to hold my hands up, guys. I do apologize. I did say I would stream the opening ceremony. Now, not gonna lie, when I found out it was banging, it was like 3 p.m. in the day here. Look, I am gonna be honest. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I can't just leave the cows and let them be in the middle of the day. So I do apologize for that. I didn't stream that. But Benny says, June, we should get you in the group chat. You actually persuaded me to buy my first shares of Rocket Lab at $5 in a mixed chat, believe it or not. Now, I have two things there. Number one, June, you're coming into the group chat 100%. We need you in there. Number two, Amit, do you know what? Guys, jump into the comments now. So we've had Dave G, we've had Matty. We've had Matty a good few times. We've had Scott O a few times. Then we've had like Ampan Man. We've had Space Investor. Look, I'm not going to name out all our guests because I'd be here all
Space
day.
Ghost.
Space Ghost.
I love Space Ghost. I love that guy, man.
Space Derivatives. That's another guy. Space Derivatives. I've only seen your message now. I think you messaged me a few days ago. Could you come on? I only seen it there. So, mate, you're always welcome on. If I don't answer, always ping Chris and ping Francisco. One of us will pick it up and we'll always send you the link. But speaking about Amit, guys, would you like us to bring Amit on for a chat? Now, I know Amit is invested in Rocket Lab, but I don't know if he's that passionate about it. I would love to speak to him about it. But if you want us to speak to Amit, even if it's just about investing in general, I am happy to have Amit on. But there's no point me reaching out and getting Amit on if it's not something you guys want to see. I want to start doing a lot more of what you guys want. I did do something today. I did start rolling out videos, like mini deep dives into all different companies. So I've done Planet Lab, Redwire, Rocket Lab, ASTS, Kratos, Archer Joby, Horizon. A good few of them. But if you want me to look into any of your companies, do let me know. VASCNC, I have got your 4 there ready to go out. June says, that's so cool, Benny. Happy about that. Didn't know. Verse says, what I liked today was seeing the automatic 5-bot placement machine they showed in the Neutron promo as a composite node. That thing is impressive. June says, Amit will admit he doesn't know much about Rocket Lab. Matt and me and others convinced him to get into Rocket Lab. I remember that.
I do too. I think because him and Maddie are so close, if we do have him on, we should definitely have Maddie on.
Oh yeah.
That would be ideal.
We need to convince Chris Patel to get into Rocket Lab.
Yeah, good luck with that. The guy's brilliant. I mean, he is. He's brilliant. I love Chris Patel. I really do.
He's a genius. I
try and watch everything that they put out. Those are fun shows for sure, guys. We're always plugging everybody else. I love that, though. You know, it's a community. And it's not always about Rocket Lab. It can be just about investing overall or just space. But yeah, those guys are great. They're always welcome on. That'd be a lot of fun, and especially someone like Amit that knows as much as he does, and kind of newish to Rocket Lab. That'd be a very interesting, perspective as far as his approach to the company itself and what he thinks about Beck and what they've done or they've achieved in the last few years, and his perspective as far as an investor. That would be very interesting. Love that.
First said it would be good to have Amit on to talk about options trading. He's sensible with it. Yeah, we could bring him on about options trading. I know one of my guys, Dylan Rogers, I think quite a few of you know him here. I've just come off a stream with him. He's quite into options trading. Jacob's another man to speak about options trading. And another man is Ampan Man. Is it Ampan Man or was it? I don't think Space Investor was mad into options. Was it Ampan Man?
I can't remember. I know it wasn't Space. No, it wasn't Space. I I can't remember. I don't want to say and be wrong. I'm wrong enough, but I'm smart enough to know right now not to say it unless I don't really know.
If
That
it's
one I
something
don't
you
know.
guys would be interested in, we could do a beginners options trading stream as well. I wouldn't mind learning a bit more about it. I've only started doing a few options, more or less just to play with. I'm not big into options trading, so I'm not even going to attempt to explain it to you. Look, one thing,
I
I'll
love
be
options.
dead serious. Do you?
I do. I know we joke about it, guys. You know, Chris doesn't like the numbers and knows the numbers, but I do like the options, man. I do like the options. I do have a lot to learn. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, if we want to do something like that, I think that'd be a lot of fun as well. Whatever you guys want. I mean, we'd love to talk about Rocket Lab, obviously in space and everything investing, really. But we don't want it to be just about us. You guys in the chats are our favorite thing. I mean, you guys are the best. So always speak up, speak out. You know, let us know what you're thinking anytime.
I have another idea. I have another camera comment as well. So, guys, if it's something you'd like me to do, I could create a few videos as well while I'm on the farm. Look, it's one of those to I'm so obsessed with like mastering your craft, so I just get heavily obsessed in it. So while I'm on the farm, all I think about is stocks. Think about Rocket Lab. I think about my VTOLs. I think about everything in general about the market. But what I might do, I might start recording things like that and actually having you with me as my live thoughts. That way, you'll be able to correct me if I'm wrong, or if you just want to learn a little bit more about me, learn a bit more about my work life, what I do day to day, rather than just sitting here on the stream. It will be stock related. It won't just be completely random. It'll be a little bit more fun. I might start doing
That's
that day
more.
too. So look, I'll do my streams at night like this. So I've come off the VTOL stream, went straight on the Rocket Lab stream. Before all that, I was doing the shorts. I will start creating more short form videos, not the shorts. But yeah, if you want something like that, follow me to work with me, listen to my random thoughts about the stock market. Do let me know. Look, again, if you're not interested, there's no point in me doing it. Benny says, yeah, getting a mitt on would be great. That's two of you that wants a mitt on. Chris won't get into Rocket Lab. No, we're talking about Chris, but tell Chris. I know you can't read the comments.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm totally right there. Yeah, he's right. He's gonna say something. So, you know, Chris's biggest thing, I guess, is usually like PE ratios, and the guy really sticks to. Everybody has a investment strategy, and if you stick to it, I gotta respect it.
Yeah,
So totally respect the guy, but I'm sure that's probably what it's going to be, you know, in line with, because those are some of his issues he's had with it in the past. The little bit he has spoken about it, but again, you know, mad respect to the guy. He's very successful. He's very intelligent. It'd be fun to have him on, just talk about it, just you know what I mean. But it never hurts to have that other perspective where you
yes.
know we're always very bullish. Um, you know, it's good to have that kind of perspective and get that kind of knowledge and learn more about again why you're investing in the first place. And you might find out something more about the company that you don't like, never know, or that you like even more. We don't always have to agree, and our guests don't always have to agree. And it's actually healthy if we don't always agree. If we're always agreeing, then we're probably in the wrong room. We're probably not making the best decision. So yeah, love to have the guy on.
Then finishing off that, he cares too much about PE ratios and the simple ways of evaluating companies. The only thing is, it has worked for him. So I can't even say anything bad. It has proper work for him. VastCNC says space derivatives is huge into options. Ooh, space derivatives. Could get space derivatives on to explain options to us. That'd be quite a nice one. Benny says, oh, my guy. You've said the forbidden word in the Rocket Lab community. Selling covered calls is the best options to trade. Basically, no risk and a great way to make an income. Depends how you look at it.
That could be true, but that could be also very, very dangerous. Very. Look, we all know options is it's dangerous, and it's definitely the last thing. If you're new to investing, don't even look into options. It's crazy. Um, I could go either way with that, Benny. Some days I would read that same or hear that same comment, read the same comment or whatever, and go, "Yep,
oh
he's
yeah,
100% right." And there's some days I'm like, "Man, that's kind of crazy." But you know what? You're probably better at it than I am. So I'm not judging. I'm just kind of poking fun at the whole idea and also reminding people that this is not investment advice because that could be risky. I would love to have even if maybe we just create a small Discord with just a few people that are wanting to learn about
interesting.
options and
Yeah.
we can always do that as well because I do.
Yeah, we could do like a group call.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, there's a lot more for me to learn. I mean, investing overall. I mean, that's why we say all the time, we're not the experts. That's why we love the comments, the people that come on, the experts, the people we do have come on here live. That's who you want to listen to. We'll bring you the news. We'll come up with some crazy conspiracy theories. Sometimes, a lot of times they're right. We have a lot of fun with it, but that's because we love what we do as far as the research. Um, that's a whole nother level when it comes to research. Not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. But yeah, anybody interested, just let us know.
Benny says, sorry, let me correct myself. Short-term cover calls like weekly or bi-weekly. And I don't want to read out the next comment. I'll just put it up there. Look, I have a good relationship with Vince. Look, I think he made a mistake. I don't want. Do you know what? There's a few in the community that are still quite sour. I'm not referring to you, Benny, by the way. But there are a few in the community that are still a bit sour with the Rocket Lab Weekly guys. Look, it is what it is. Let them do whatever they want to do. Just don't go hating on them. The work they've done in the Rocket Lab community over the last 3 years at this stage, is it 2-3 years? Is
immense. 2 or 3 years, man. A lot of time, a lot of devotion. I remember following. I started following Dave. Man, there was like 9 of us maybe. Francisco was one of the few. And slowly it started building up. Stock Trek Girl. She was a lot. She was in there early, very early. I think she was actually before Dave, but unfortunately, I don't know what she's doing, but she was great at it. I wish she would come back on. But this is not easy, guys. You're putting yourself out there, and I did not. Liam will tell you, I didn't like message Liam. Liam messaged me and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," and it was eye-opening in a lot of ways, and I've learned a lot. But at the same time, we get some crazy, crazy messages in our DMs. This is not the easiest thing to do. It really isn't. You're putting yourself out there. You're making predictions. Especially, us. We're talking daily. Not easy. It's
no, I
time
was
consuming.
ready to throw in the towel after we went on Rocket Lab Weekly and I got a bit of hate. Do you know what? Looking back there, I'm just like, yeah, it's what it is. Look, you go through stages with content creating. I'm at that stage now. I could get 100 negative messages and it wouldn't bother me. But some days you wake up. It's normally the days when you can't be asked to do a video. Like, I came on a stream there 4 or 5 days ago and I said, look, guys, I need you to help me out. I'm not feeling the videos today. But the difference is just showing up every single day. What we need to show is resilience. And I think that's what we're starting to show. And once you start getting a little bit of following, don't let it go to your head. And I think that's what will keep us humble. I think that's what will keep us speaking to the community, reading out every message. Like, our philosophy is read out every single message. If you've taken the time out of your day to respond to us and watch us, the least we can do is respond to your message, good, bad, or ugly. Now, come here, don't jump into my chat and kill me. But yeah, good, bad, or ugly. And look, if we make a mistake, I'll always hold my hands up. We are going to make mistakes, yeah. Look, I know the Rocket Lab boys got a good bit of hate, but look, Chris, within 2 years, we're going to make a big mistake at some stage. We're going to get called out by everyone. But look, one thing I want to do is I always want to hold my hands up when I'm wrong. If I make a mistake, like yesterday, I made a big mistake. I said we were going streaming the shareholder meeting about 6 hours before. Really, what happens is the night before. So once we come off the stream, I'll prepare the stream for the next day. So we were talking Francisco, and that's where I first got the inkling that, because all of a sudden Francisco went, "You need to do this," but I won't be there. I have something very important. That's when I sort of knew. But then about 6 hours before a stream, so I come home from work. Chris and that is still, it's the middle of the day. I start like doing loads of research, and I start diving in what we can do and what we can't do. Jumped in, tried to get in to the webcast. Then it said I needed a password, and just alarm bells rang in my head, and I was like, I don't think I should be streaming this. So of course, everyone's best friend, ChatGPT, can you stream a shareholder meeting? Was like, no, it's illegal. And I was like, I love my channel, but I'm not going to federal prison for sharing something that I shouldn't be sharing. So yeah, I had to change my video last minute to this is not a live recording of the meeting. And to be fair, everyone understood. But look, I made a mistake there, and I do hold my hands up. Now, VCNC says, I've only done options on high conviction small to mid caps that the algos don't soak up the alpha on. Basically, my drones that I research heavy. Fast. I can't wait to start deep diving these drones for you. Though I don't normally invest in small caps or micro caps. I have gone quite heavy in Horizon Aircraft. 78 million. Oh no, 72 million market cap. Look, we interviewed the CEO. Give me a bit of confidence. I'm going to see where it goes. Not financial advice. Don't be jumping in because I have. When I say I've but a significant position, it's not a significant part of my portfolio. So don't just think, look, I'll go balls deep into Horizon Aircraft because that's risky. Benny says, Emit is living proof that just showing up, being loyal, and being resilient is a winning strategy. Yeah, but you know what? Emit has just a next level personality. If we could even get a quarter of the success Emit gets, I'd be happy. But at the same time, I am happy with what? With 3,050 or 3,042 or something like that at the moment. I'm just happy coming in here, talking to you guys. It is like a bit of a relaxed, you know, when you have a stressful day on the farm, or you, no, we're all weirdos here. Don't get it twisted. All of us are pretty obsessed with the stock market. You wouldn't be sitting here at this time watching the stock market.
Bro, I was happy just live streaming on X between me and Francisco and Johnny and like 5 other people, and then you happened. And now I do this every day. And that's even better. I mean, it's a little intimidating, not gonna lie, but I was just happy just doing that because it was a lot easier to just sit there and text. I was trying to kayak. I mean, sometimes Francisco can just not stop and just text you for 3 hours with crazy information, which is amazing. But yeah, I was kayaking. Yeah, but now we do this instead. We do it live.
One thing about me is I'll never pressure no one to ever come on a stream or do like come on camera because I know how intimidating that can be. But Chris knows me now. Anyone that ever wants to get into this whole streaming space, like, it's easy to an extent, but it looks easier than it is. And like, I'm quite intense. Like, I'm every day. We just have to keep pumping. We have no break.
That was one of the things that all the guys said, whether it was Dave or Maddie or Scott, everybody that comes on the show with us. You know, once we're done, we talk a little bit after the show, and we get the same response. They're like, "Man, that was actually fun." You know, it was laid back. You guys weren't peppering me with all these crazy questions. We were just kind of hanging out and chilling like we would if we were grabbing a beer, at a pub. And that's what it's like here. So yeah, we definitely don't, you know, people are always welcome to come on. It doesn't matter from what walk of life you're at. We've had all different types of people on here, and that's what makes it so much fun because you get all these different perspectives um, from all different kinds of people at all different levels in their life as far as age and finances and what they're thinking in the future. Because we all invest differently and we all have different goals and we all have different things we deal with on a daily basis. So, yeah, we don't always want to just definitely hear from us. There's a lot better out there. And thankfully, they're gracious and generous enough to, put up with the likes of me and Liam and come on and have a good time with us. So yeah, whether we're talking cigars at Maddie or, we're talking options trading with space derivatives or what we might do in the future, just have fun with it at the very least, because we do. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we say it's open forum where anyone can call in, but I do know some of you are uncomfortable with coming in being live on YouTube. Look, I do get a lot of messages like, you're free for a call. Look, while we're at this size, look, me and Chris might set aside a day, maybe a weekend day, where we can have a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-5 call with different people off camera, not recorded. If you just want to speak, I don't care if you want to speak about how to cut a cow or if you want to speak about options trading. I'm not saying I'm very good at options trading. You can speak about anything. If you want to call, I want to do that for the community, even if it's once a week or something. Just reach out. We create a group chat. If you're really uncomfortable, we can split it into a certain amount of numbers. It won't be recorded. Yeah, do let us know. I just want to build this community, my guy. VasCNC says, read every message, eh? I'm a fancy lady drinking the king's tea. Clip that.
That's not fair, Vass, but that's hilarious. I love that.
SpongeDrop.
SpongeDrop.
Shout out to our newest member, SpongeDrop. Hey guys. SpongeDrop, how you feeling today? We had that opening. Launch Complex 3, Neutron Pad. Finally, it's here.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you know what? It is what it is, my guys. Oh, do you know what? I just love streaming. It gets to that stage where you're like, I look forward to this, my guy. I don't care.
Especially on a day like
I
today,
do
man, we should all be celebrating. I mean, we are one step closer to Neutron. We should be all celebrating. This is a great day to be, celebrating all the last 2 or 3 years when we're buying at 4 and 7, and now look at us. We're just getting started, and we're still. I mean, yeah, we're just getting started. So much fun.
Oh, do you know what? I actually spoke to my eVTOL guys there after the last stream, and we're like organizing like what events we're gonna go throughout the year. So like we're going to Farnborough next year. We need to take a trip up to Canada to speak to Brandon again. We're going to Archer and Joby's headquarters. I need to do one with you, Chris, where we go to Wallops. A few different other space companies I wouldn't mind. Like, look, we do have the transport with the VTOL guys. Look, even if we jumped in with them and we hit a few along the way, it will be exciting. I do have Mike's comment, so I know myself and Race want one where we can clip on us. That way, look, if I am on the farm or I am driving or something, I can just set the phone up and speak to you guys along the way. Channel is going to change, and it is going to be a lot more full on, a lot more dynamic. You won't know where I am, what I'm doing, but there will be a lot more content coming out. SpongeDrop says, so excited, missed it in the middle of the night, but watched it in the morning. How good does the launch pad look? So Peter Beck design focus right there. Do you know what? It was insane. I missed the first part of it, not gonna lie. I did catch a little bit towards the end, but nah, that was. Do you know you love it when a
I
good
was at
plan?
work.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch anything. Um, I I guess yeah, I can say that I was getting a few photos and a few little video snippets sent to me. So I was watching those or looking at those, um, but I couldn't watch everything going on live or on X or anything like that. But very cool. When I did get home and wasn't able to get on live because my phone sucked, I just watched the video instead. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Looking forward to a lot more. I mean, we're just getting started. This thing is not even it's not even on the pad yet. There's a long way to go. Big, big, big fun, big parties to have very soon. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait to see you guys all out at Wallops. It's gonna be a blast. That's gonna be a blast.
Then, guys, we are creating. I need to actually reach out to Olga. We are creating a few T-shirts that myself and Chris are going to wear. Um, we're not going to sell them. We're just going to do giveaways with them. We're trying to do a few designs. Rocket Lab Fan Club, Space Fan Club. We'll do a few space designs. We have to be very careful. We don't want to infringe on Rocket Lab's copyright. That's the last thing. If not, there'll be no more Liam and Chris. But yeah, if it's something you want to get involved in the takeaway, I wouldn't mind it. SpongeBob says, really nice seeing the boys on site. How big were their smiles? Love the Neutron t-shirt Francisco showed. That looked pretty sick. He needs to wear that on stream, That did look cool.
That Neutron T-shirt needs a space in my closet, and I'll just leave it at that. As far as that T-shirt is concerned, because that thing is fire for sure. That thing is fire. Also, Liam, I didn't tell you this, but I've already spoken with the people at Rocket Lab as far as what we can design and create as far as T-shirts or mugs or whatever we want to do. And as long as we submit it to them and they approve, we're golden. So, not saying, well, I'll just say that we have a bit more carte blanche than you probably realize. And that's not new. That's something that I've been working on for several months, along with our good buddy, Call Me Curtis, who has an amazing business. I'll leave it, won't go too much into detail about that, but yeah, we're going to actually get approved from Rocket Lab before we produce anything because I'm not going to deal with any kind of legalities, and also we love Beck and Rocket Lab, but yeah, we're not selling anything. It's going to be limited edition, and we'll be doing giveaways here live, and they'll be for the people going to the Neutron party. They'll be in your gift basket, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, little tidbit, a little bit of info, a little fun there, guys. But for those that are still here and tuned in with us at what hour and some change, yeah, that's some fun news right there.
Wait a minute. So SpongeBob says Milestone's going to get ticked off thick and fast now on, for sure. Vaccine C says, I forgot his name, but the guy from the Virginia Space Agency or whatever was dead ringer for the president from Rick and Morty.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's great.
I never know what you're going to say, Vaccine C. Olga, big shout out. Olga's always here supporting us. Do you know what? How proud are we of?
If you don't love Olga, then I don't love you, okay? You better love Olga or else. Olga's the best. Love you, Olga. Thank you so much, as always.
SpongeBob, Olga. Olga says, what an exciting day today. Do you know what? It was so good. Vaccine C says, do a pub theme, rounds and rockets. Hey, SpongeBob. June says, awesome work. Great idea to clear with Rocket Lab. Yeah, for sure. Do you know what? We ain't smashing no Rocket Lab actual things on anything without clearing it with them first. We'd be going down pretty quick. Olga says, hey,
yeah, June. We're actually, so this is something that's pretty cool too for, so again, we might not be there for the launch, but it is basically surrounding the Neutron launch thing as far as a party. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to make a commemorative coin out of wood. It's going to be like a, I don't know, the silver dollar size kind of thing. That'll also be in your gift basket. But again, that's going to have to get approved by Rocket Lab before we do it. But yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up for this party. It's been months and months in the making. I have not been sitting on my laurels. I promise. I know I've been late on delays as far as announcements, but other people that want to be there, can't say names, but you know, coordination is very difficult. Everybody has lives, everybody has jobs, everybody has large responsibilities. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. But we're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of goodies, a lot of extras, and again, just mostly an appreciation for everything you guys do. I can't wait to meet you all, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And Olga, get that yacht ready. Get that yacht ready, Olga. We'll talk about that in the future. You know, for maybe next year.
Then June says, "Hi Olga." SpongeBob says, "How long till we start seeing big neutron pods?" And Wallop, did I read something saying September? That's next week. Do you know what? I'll have to actually dive into that. I don't want to give misinformation. So if I said a timeline, I'd only be lying to you. Chris, have you seen anything about it? Have you seen anything since September? I know the Kedge got approved.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say that. Correct. I haven't seen anything that would tell me that anything's being moved, but I mean, I don't know for sure, so I don't want to say for sure. September sounds very plausible. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, Walps is open, ready. You know, they're going to want to start testing soon, and I think it's just a matter of when they're going to do the catching and all that kind of stuff, so they can get down there safely. But yeah, September. That makes a lot of sense.
Olga, I want to give you a shout out. You said if we broke that 47 lane, we'd be moving upwards. Looks like we have all of this week. Where do you think we'll end next week? I know this week's not over yet, but do you think we'll keep pushing higher? Look, we do have the likes of the Golden Dome contracts coming out in September. We then have the beautiful Neutron ramping up. $80 to $100, mate. It's really starting to look.
Don't forget about rate cuts. If we get rate cuts in September,
yeah,
you know that's a very easy thing to overlook, and that's gonna be massive for a lot of the small cap companies, not just Rocket Lab, but space overall. They're paying a premium right now, so yeah, that'd be huge.
SpongeBob says, I haven't seen any photos of the Hungry Hippo still in Auckland. I think they were packaging it for shipping a few months ago. That's a point. I actually haven't seen the Hungry Hippo there. Francisco might know.
It's at Wallops. It's at Wallops. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. No,
you'll send the market to frenzy.
No, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. No, I don't know that for sure. I don't know. But I mean, look, if they've had a lot of things already put in place prior to today. They had to overcome a lot of things prior to today. And I think that we're going to start seeing a lot more of those green bubbles pop up when it comes to the evolution of Neutron we've been watching and anticipating for, what, 2 years plus now? We're not far. We're really not far. They've already overcome some of the largest obstacles they need to worry about. Now it's just a matter of just getting the parts there, getting together, and making sure they all fit in place and everything is nice and smooth. But still a good ways to go, no doubt. But yeah, guys, I think this baby's launching this year. I really do.
Olga says, absolutely. Oh, Olga's expecting a big day tomorrow and going into next week as well. Absolutely, we're going higher. We will see 55 next week, if not even tomorrow. That'd be an insane move tomorrow. Next week, possibly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that.
SpongeBob says it was in Warkworth, Auckland. I need to do some digging into my Auckland connections. Oh, SpongeBob, reach out to me on X if you get any information on that. That could be some gold content there. Guys, we are on the push to 5,000 subscribers. Do make sure to bang that subscribe button. Also, we're only on 19 likes. There's more of you in the chat. Like what? There's more of you live there. We've had over near enough 200 people through the stream so far. Please make sure bang that like button. Every like shares us out to 10 more people. SpongeBob says, I always like what Olga says. Do you know what? Olga is probably one of our biggest Rocket Lab bulls here. I know you're all Rocket Lab bulls, but Olga.
But she's right. She's always. I
She's
mean,
always
she's so,
right, and
she's either like 100% right, or she's so close that it doesn't make a difference. And I'm like, yep. That's a good look charm. If you're not investing in Rocket Lab, that's great. But if you are, you probably follow Olga. I mean, she's just like that good luck charm in your back pocket you always need. Love it.
We need an Olga ETF, you know.
She's the best, man. She really is. She really is. We're gonna do that that whole yacht thing. That's a great idea. It really is. And as far as a Neutron party, we're gonna do this every year. It's gonna be an annual thing. We're just once we plan the dates and set the time and everything, we're gonna do that the same time every year. So it doesn't matter. It could be an Electron launch that happens. It could be a nothing launch. It could be whatever, but it's gonna be the same week. Once we set it, it's gonna be annual. So maybe next year we do the yacht. We'll put Olga in charge for next year's party. How about that? I love that idea.
Olga says, thank you, SpongeBob. And SpongeBob says, will do. Guys, this has been a really nice stream. I've actually really enjoyed this one. It's been nice getting to know some of you guys a little bit more. Yeah, if it's something you want from me, I am getting a new camera coming tomorrow. If you want a daily videos of me at work talking stock market, do let me know. Something I can easily do. All I gotta do is bring the camera with me and I can have it uploaded every day. But for now, my name's Liam. I am one of the Hustle Brothers, here with my other brother, Christopher Bell. We officially have the opening of the Neutron Launchpad. We hopefully have a launch coming this year. And that way, it makes the official announcement of the delay a bit, I don't know, untrue. Guys, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.